Hi guys, this is the long video on cranial nerves. Basically, cranial nerves are of three types: sensory, motor, and mixed. In this video, we are going to discuss about the mnemonic on cranial nerves, name of the cranial nerve according to the mnemonic, its supply, its function, and its type. All the 12 pairs of cranial nerves falls into these three groups only. If we remember the mnemonic on occasion of treat, the absolute faces we see are girls. Visitors says hi. In this mnemonic, the first one is on. On stands for olfactory nerve. It supplies the nasal mucosa. It mainly functions for smell sensation. So it is sensory type of cranial nerve. Second O stands for optic nerve. It mainly originates from the retina. Its function is helping in vision. So it is also sensory type of cranial nerve. Then third O of the mnemonic, oculomotor. It supplies the muscles of eye. The functions of oculomotor nerve is eye movement, pupil constriction, lens shape. So this is the motor type of cranial nerve. T in the treat, it denotes the trochlear cranial nerve. It supplies superior oblique muscle. Its function is eye movement, which is down and lateral. It is motor type of cranial nerve, and we also have mnemonic SO4, means superior oblique is supplied by fourth cranial nerve, which is trochlear nerve, and the fifth cranial nerve, which is trigeminal nerve. It supplies face, cornea, scalp, oral and nasal cavity, and muscles of mastication. Functions of this cranial nerve are facial sensation and mastication. So it is mixed type of cranial nerve. A in absolute stands for abducens, which supplies lateral rectus muscle. So the short form is LR6, lateral rectus by sixth cranial nerve, which causes abduction of eye. So it is motor type of cranial nerve. Seventh and most important cranial nerve is facial nerve, which supplies muscles of facial expressions, anterior two-thirds of tongue, salivary and lacrimal glands. Based on this supply, we got to know that its functions are facial expression, taste, salivation and lacrimation. So it is also mixed type of cranial nerve. VC goes for vestibulocochlear or auditory cranial nerve, which supplies vestibule and cochlea in the middle ear, which helps in balancing and hearing. So it is sensory type of cranial nerve. G in the mnemonic goes with glossopharyngeal cranial nerve, which supplies posterior one-third of tongue, pharynx and parotid glands. So functions are taste, salivation, swallowing, carotid body sensation. So it is mixed type of cranial nerve. 10th cranial nerve is vagus nerve. According to the mnemonic visitors, V is vagus. So it supplies pharynx, larynx, thoracic and abdominal viscera. Functions of this cranial nerve are swallowing, voice, control of heart, lung and digestion. So it is mixed type of cranial nerve. 11th cranial nerve, which is spinal accessory nerve, supplies the sternocleidomastoid and trapezius. Sternocleidomastoid functions head turn or rotation, trapezius function shoulder elevation. So it is purely mixed type of cranial nerve. Finally, the 12th cranial nerve H stands for hypoglossal nerve, which supplies tongue muscles, helps in tongue movement. So it is purely a type of motor cranial nerve. Finally, these are the 12 cranial nerves: olfactory nerve, optic nerve, oculomotor nerve, trochlear nerve, trigeminal nerve, abducens nerve, facial nerve, vestibulocochlear nerve, glossopharyngeal nerve, vagus nerve, spinal accessory nerve, hypoglossal nerve. In these, the 12 pairs of cranial nerves, 3 are sensory cranial nerves, which are first, second, and eighth one. 4 are mixed. 5, 7, 9, 10 cranial nerves. 5 motor. 3, 4, 6, 11, 12. These are the motor cranial nerves. In eye, we use this mnemonic all 3 S44 LR6. It means all the muscles of eye are supplied by third cranial nerve, but superior oblique by fourth cranial nerve, lateral rectus by sixth cranial nerve. Thank you.